Good morning. I got this message today that went like this. Um, Manifestation is not something we do, right? So we don't manifest things. Manifestation is the result of what we do. So I know that so many of us are on the manifestation train right now, but how many of us really understand what that means or how it works, right? So let's back it up a little bit and break it down, because what good is it when we hear all these new age terms that we don't even understand? And they'll say, well, all you got to do is just believe 100% that it's the law of attraction. You'll just get it as long as you believe you have it. Yes and no, right? Let's for those that need a little bit more understanding, let's dig into it a little bit. So first, let's understand that we are on a three-dimensional plane. That's Earth. There three dimensions to it. And what's a dimension? It's right. It's like a just one dimension is just flat, right? We would all just be pancakes. And then there's 2-dimension and 3-dimension. So that's what they mean when they talk about the dimensional planes. Because each plane is in fact measured by the way light travels through, the way light and sound travel through space. And if it's depending on whether that frequency travels through 1 dimension or 2 dimensions or 3 dimensions or 4, 5, 6, 7, depends on what is able to happen there. So 3 dimensions. 3 dimensions is density and a spectrum. It's pretty dense. So we talk a lot and hear a lot about how we're evolving to the 5th dimension. So this is 5 dimensions there. It's a 5-dimensional plane, so sound and light are traveling through it. And it is capable of holding a much higher frequency where things happen much quicker. But we're not quite there. We're here. Most of us are here. And I'll say most of us because if you watch my other videos, you understand the parallel universes and how everything is omnipresent, blah, blah, blah. But let's back up. So we are stationed in the 3rd dimension right now, meaning that our vessels and the energy that is in our vessels, that we hold in our vessels, is fairly dense. So we resonate on the 3rd dimension. And the 3rd dimension is physicality, right? It's solid. Everything is in form. Now, in the ethers is where we think. Our thoughts, the little electrical pulses that happen inside of our heads that form all these other things like emotions and feelings and all that stuff. It's energy. It's just energy. Those things are in the higher dimensions. It's in the ethers. It's in the space. The ethers is just the space around us, right? We could say that's the only reality there is the space around us. We are actually the matrix. We are the matrix. We are the solid particles, the solid forms, the density. So, with that being said, when we try to manifest things, usually we try to manifest physical things like a house or money or a partner or whatever have you. When we manifest, or when we take the actions to manifest, right, we are pulling energy from the ethers, from the higher realms, so that it forms in solid particles in this realm. So the 3rd dimension will be the last place that these things manifest. When you think, now this is important, anything you think of in your mind, or when you daydream, or when you think of the just silly things, or our society has taught us that these things are just silly things that happen in the mind, and we can brush them aside, and they're not really anything except just things swimming around in here. But I'm going to tell you this. The things that float around in your mind is called divine imagination. And it's called divine imagination because that is your wand, if you will. That is reality. Because the reality is endless potential. We live in a place where we live in a universe that is full of open potential, where anything can happen, anything at all. And that is reality. That is actual reality. This is the matrix, where there's a program happening, where we've all been programmed to follow this dense illusion of what is. So therefore, when we think of anything, if we think of unicorns, if we think of elves and pink elephants and whatever else, like when we think of that, we have just created something. We just haven't created it in this realm, in this density. So therefore, we are all creating these things in the ethers all the time when we're thinking. It doesn't matter who you are or what you're thinking about. Even when you're angry, when you're sad, when you're happy, when you're hopeful, when you're desperate, whatever it is, that is what you are creating in the ethers, in the energy field around all of us. Therefore, this is why I say we are the grid, because whatever we are thinking, whatever we are subconsciously not realizing we are thinking about, is what is building an energy around us, and will in turn, when enough of us are thinking about it for long enough, it will eventually, we will create it. And this is why I say we've created the society we live in, right? Because we have slipped into our subconscious. And when we're shown things on television, like, wars and explosions and illnesses and, global pandemics and things like that, it comes through our eyes. Our eyes are the lenses, comes through, goes into our minds, and then we picture it. And then because we don't know, because we've been told that whatever happens in here, right? Because those visions come in, oh, everyone's dying, oh my God, there's explosions. It comes in, and then it goes through our mind, and then our mind starts creating these thoughts, and then the thoughts create these emotions, and then the emotions, we say, these are my emotions, and I am in danger, or if they're good things, then, I am happy. But they come in, and then we say that they're our own, because we were programmed to believe so. We were never told that we are just conduits that take in this energetic flow in our auric field like this, where we pull in energy from all around us, meaning everyone else's thoughts and emotions, and then it goes in and we reconfirm it to the universe, because then we believe that it's happening and we believe that it is so. But the truth is, nothing is ours. Nothing is ours. Nothing was originated inside us, because that would mean we are the God. We are the omnipotent force that has created something that only exists inside of us. But it's not true. We are of one. We are of God. We are of this one entity, this one grid. And therefore, everything flows in us, and then we have to let it flow out. But when we subconsciously, meaning below our conscious mind, things we don't realize that we're doing, when subconsciously we believe that we are the ones who are creating these thoughts and emotions, then we hold it. We hold it in our body physically. We physically tense our body, and we hold this energy that comes in, and we lock it in, and then we believe that it is ours, and we hold it. And if picture 1,000 people do that, then the energy that I'm putting out is fear, and oh my God, this is reality. Oh my God, everyone's sick. Oh my God, this is happening. Oh my God, everyone's gonna die if they take this one medication that they're injecting into people. And I hold that in my auric field, and then so does the person next to me, and next to me, and next to me, and next to me, and then we create a reality. So that's kind of the more negative part. That's kind of where we are. It's kind of what got us here, but no more. We are all, the truth is emerging in us, which is the only reason that I get these messages, is because you get them too. Your only job is to allow them to come through. And what that means is be present when you get emotions, or when you get thoughts, or when you get dreams, or when you get anything else. You let it come in and you let it flow out. It's not yours. When you get a fear, or um, something sad, even if it's not, even if it's pertaining to you. Like if your beloved pet passed away and you feel sad, just remember that that is an emotion created in the ethers, and it can go through you. It can go through you. We grab it, and then it comes through and then out. I mean, ideally, if we were all evolved beings, which we aren't, obviously, we wouldn't really get sad. They don't feel that in the other realms. They don't feel sadness. They don't feel density because they do not have a subconscious. They know that an animal passing away is nothing to be sad about. They know that once an animal passes this physical form, it goes into the etheric form, and it's still here, and everything's fine. You see, but we're not there yet. We're getting there, right? So back to manifestation. So when we have a thought like, oh, I have this vision of this house that I want, and it's beautiful, and so on and so forth. What we're taught to do when we manifest is we have to believe it, we have to believe it, and we have to believe it, and we have to make sure it's there, and da 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 da, which isn't totally not true. It's not untrue. It's that if we are straining that, if we are straining it, or if the reason why we begin to doubt it in the first place is because we say, okay, I gotta vision this house, now I gotta smell it, now I gotta feel it, now I gotta make sure it's real in order to manifest it, or else it's not gonna come, and then I'm not gonna be happy, and then and that all that other noise just pulls it right out of the ethers, because it's density, it's doubt, right? So when I say that manifestation is the result of something that happens, it's the something that we are doing is we are dreaming, and we are acknowledging that these dreams are reality. They may not be in this dense form here, but on this higher dimension, which is happening right now, overlapped with this one, it is real. It is absolutely happening, because our minds are real. We know we're thinking, right? We know that we're saying things, and it is real. And therefore, when you manifest something, when you dream, when you have these dreams about things that you want, and things that you want in the world, things that you want to feel empowered, and you want to feel peace, and you want to feel these things, imagine them in your mind, and then just lightly imagine them. It's almost like you're visiting another place. Just visit your dreams. You visit them, and you enjoy them, and you look around, and you feel how wonderful they are, and then you let them flow through you, and you let them out. You don't have to hold them and say, I hope, please, 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 because we're tensing. We're holding them in, and we're canceling it out, and we're turning it into a negative. We're turning it dense because we're holding it in here. We can visit these dreams. We visit them. We create them, and we visit them, and they're beautiful and wonderful. Let them go in, let them go back out, and then you just live your purpose. And when you live your purpose, right? It's a loaded word for us, because we want a finite thing. We want to know, I'm a teacher, that's my purpose. I'm a mother, that's my purpose. And again, that is the last thing that happens here. The purpose that happens up here is in here and in here, right? So rather than saying, I need to live my purpose today, I need to go and be a great mother. I need to live my purpose, and I need to go out, and I need to be a teacher. But how come I don't feel like it? How come I don't feel like leaving the house today? How come? But I have to do it anyways. And it's force. You see, you're forcing yourself to go do it. So back it up. We can't snap our fingers and these dense things just happen. We are creators, and we don't even know, and we're skipping this step. So come back up. If your purpose is to be better, bigger, greater, then this needs to be bigger, greater, and better, meaning we can't align this with negativity. And if we don't know we're being negative, it's in the subconscious, then how do we even address this? So we need to allow that flow. Allow yourself to be the observer of your thoughts. And when we find ourselves being negative, when we find ourselves watching these things on television where it's nothing but disaster, we reevaluate our thoughts. We reevaluate if there's going to be a snowstorm and we're just so annoyed and so done with the snow, and we're like, oh man, I can't stand the snow, I'm sick of it, blah blah blah, whatever thoughts may come out, then I have to work in it, then I have to drive in it, then it's like the slush everywhere, and then I have to wash my car, and these are all the things that start forming. But instead, like when we hear it's going to snow today, we say, okay, I see you, I know I was going somewhere dense with it, let me back it up. The snow is cleaning the air. The snow is cleaning the air, and it's kind of pretty to look at. And that's all I'm going to focus on. And this goes for everything, even the state of our world. I know many people are afraid, or, there's people who believe there was a fake, virus, and there's people that it was a real virus, and there's a harmful injection, and there's a savior of an injection. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If there is extreme polarity happening, we move ourselves out of that and we be observers, because subconscious is polarity. The polarity lives in the subconscious, and that's what we're trying to surface, right? So if there's extreme polarity and you find yourself not knowing which one to choose, and you're like, I don't know which one of these to choose, I don't know, there's too much going on, then you move yourself out and you become the observer. There is no negativity that can exist in the observer position. So we sit back and we say, could be. Me and my partner do this. And we'll see something on TV, like, the train derailments, and oh my God, and the whole world's ending, and we're not going to be able to breathe or eat anything. And we look at it and we say, could be. Could be. And it saves us immense mental torture, because you're pulling yourself out of it, and now you're in the neutral. Now you're in the neutral phase of the ethers. That's what the ethers are. That space of infinite potential is the neutral. It's like driving a car. You're shifting. You can shift through. You can shift through first gear, second gear. You can shift through positive, negative. You can shift through into neutral, and just let it take you where it's going to take you, and trust that that car is going to bring you somewhere where you're meant to go. So back to the manifestation. Let's bring ourselves into a place where we believe in our minds. We believe that anything that goes on in there is a place, and it is reality, because it is. It's not a silly thing that only children do, and that we need to reject it. That was a power play to keep us out of our creator mode. And we're not there anymore. We're getting better at this every day. The truth is emerging every day. We're getting these downloads every day. I hope this helps. Happy manifesting.